The recording, I'm just sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Like, can anyone confirm it is able? You are able to see it. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Shobhajan, for confirming. So yeah. So before we start with the actual demo, like what excited about, I'll just take a minute to talk about my chapter. So I represent the Kolkata chapter, and this chapter is a very new chapter, and as you can see that it will have less number of members as compared to the other chapters, but over the last 3 months we have grown from 600 members to 1000 members, and I'm so happy to see this number here today. So my chapter has been continuously delivering some sessions or the other, and we have a few more sessions coming up in the next week as well. So I would request everyone to take a moment to scan the QR and try to join the chapter, because your support means a lot to all of us. And feel free to share your opinions, like any demo or any session that you would like to see. Feel free to reach out to anyone from the chapter. Just let your opinion, like what is good, what is bad, and we'll try to improve it as much as possible. So yeah, with that said, I hope all of you have scanned the QR. It takes you to the UiPath community event page, and you can also find the chapter links there. So I would request all of you to join the Kolkata chapter. Okay, coming to the speaker thing. So I'm a senior developer in UiPath, and recently I've been playing a lot with this Gen AI prompt engineering thing, trying to see like how we can use coding agent or coded agents. So something that has been a new learning graph for me. So I'm happy that me and Subharjan, we could come up with something and present it to all of you today. So yeah, and I'm really excited to present Subhajan to all of you. So he is a fresh graduate, and he has been an active member for the Kolkata community. So recently, I was very happy that he came up hand and he said that, brother, I want to do something on the coding agent. So yeah, so this session is all about like what his idea, how we shaped his idea with UiPath, and yeah, today whatever you are going to see. So it's a huge credit to Subhajan. So yeah, I welcome him also as a speaker here. And going forward, so this is the main event. So what we are, so all of you have created automations studio, but today we are going to show like how Claude can do the UiPath automations for you, how it will help you to design your automation solution, how you can publish it to your orchestrator, run it from there, all using your prompts. So that whole thing has been the part of this event today. So with that said, we'll dive the session overview. So we'll briefly touch up on how to do the installation thing, because I don't want to spend so much time on the installation part, because the demo and the prompt execution is obviously going to consume a good amount of time. So we'll just briefly touch about the installation steps. Uh, then we'll show you like how we can connect your Claude CLI to your UiPath orchestrator. Then we'll try to show you how you can create an orchestrator folder. You can create your queues, add items to your queues, create an RPA workflow, publish your project, do the robot and machine setup, create your RPA process, and then run it as a job. And we'll try to make sure that all the queue items gets executed. All of this will be done today using Claude. So on the installation part, like so these are some of the basic things that you might need like once you start with your installation thing. So you should have your PowerShell scripts, and then you'll have some installation steps. Now all these installation steps are present in this PDF, like which I'm sharing. So this PDF will be available in your event page. So once the event is done, you'll be able to go there, follow the steps, and do the same kind of installation in your thing. So I hope that will give you a much more clear idea like what needs to be done and how it has to be done. So yes, Git is one of the important thing that you need. You also need to install your Node.js. Then you have your Claude Code thing which needs to be installed, and then you will have your .NET SDK, which is also important for you to set up, and then you'll have your UiPath CLI login so that you can connect to your orchestrator and execute your commands. And yeah, I think then we can just there are a few of the commands which you can run to make sure that you have all the setup and your validation is complete. So this is briefly on like how you can do your cloud setup with the UiPath thing. So all that will be available to you. Like once the event is done, you'll have access to this uh, PDF. So coming to the business use case, so we have taken a very simple business use case because the execution of this like using prompt takes a lot of time, and uh, to do the entire thing in this small amount of time might be challenging for us. So we have taken a very simple use case. I just briefly touch upon like what the use case is. So you will have some queue transactions. Okay, so all that queue transactions will have two important properties. One is your quantity, another is your unit price. So once this execution happens, the process bot will simply multiply the quantity with the unit price and give you the output that this is my output, and all the transactions has been completed successfully. So we've taken a very simple use case. There is but the interesting part is like how we can do this use case with the prompt. So that has been something like we'll try to show you like what were the challenges that we faced, like when we try to develop that. So that will give you a brief idea like okay, what are the things that we'll have to keep in mind, what should be the best practice, uh, like when you design something using prompts. So yep, so this is our simple business use case that we have taken, and the rest of the things will uh, flow will support the particular business use case. So with that said, so I'll not take any more of your time, so we'll directly go to the demo and the prompts. So I'll stop here for a moment and I'll ask Subhajan to share the screen, and Subhajan can take you there and execute everything for you, and you can see everything live. Thank you. Subhajan, I think you can share your screen. And
Yes, firstly, thank you, Kunal, for the brief introduction of what we're going to build today and how the setup are. And thank you, everyone, for being present in the meet. So, without wasting any much time, I will directly dive into the PDF first, and then I will be showing you the live demonstration. So, let me share my screen. I hope it's visible to everyone, and I'm going to the PDF section. So, we have tried to list of all the prompts here in the PDF, which you can, after setting up your Claude and UiPath, you can in your terminal run these prompts or modify the prompts, and you will see the results in your UiPath Studio account. So there are a couple of prompts, like we gathered like 8 prompts. These are the minimal number of prompts that you need to have to make the system run perfectly. I mean, you can have less number of prompts, but the back and forth will be more and more. So we just polish the prompts such that it works well for this session. So let me start off with the first prompt. And in the first prompt, it says, wait a minute. Yeah, so create a folder named coding agent demo under default tenant, right? So we'll do the same thing in the terminal, and then we'll get back to the studio web and see if it actually executes or not. So let me go to my terminal. Yeah. So for honorable mentions, I need to tell Claude to log into my UiPath account first. So let's ask him. Yeah, so it successfully logged into my UiPath account. And for the betterment and the time saving, I have saved all the prompts directly to a MD file I have. You don't need to have the MD file. The PDF will be provided where all the same prompts are written. So prompt one which discuss, that is create a folder named coding agent demo under default tenant. So let's copy that and paste it here. Press enter. So what Claude does actually, they are like UiP CLIs, like list of skills. And with the help of Claude, first Claude does what? Find the best skills for the particular task and then run the CLI of UiPath by itself. So if you don't have Claude, you can run the thing, but having Claude is like you have more pros in your site. So it's done. Let's check now in the studio web like what happened. So let's go to the orchestrator and we expect to have a folder. What's that? So our folder has been created. Now let's dive into the next prompt. But before that, let me explain what the second prompt does actually. So it says create a queue name.
Subhajan, I'll just interrupt you for a moment. Can you please increase the zoom size of this? Some
Okay,
people
okay.
are finding it difficult to see it. Second, like before you just create the queue, I just want you to show the folder that the folder is empty and no queue is there so that the audience can
Yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah.
Yep, it should be good. Yep, go ahead. Yeah,
So
thank you.
this is the yeah. Yeah. So this is the folder we have just created, and in the queue section, it's totally empty. And we believe after running the prompt there will be a queue. So I think the PDF is visible now, like, or I should zoom it more. So you can say create a queue name coding agent queue under the folder coding agent demo.
Yep,
In the description is also given, like if you don't understand what the prompt is actually doing, you can read the English line, so for your better understanding. So the same way I go to my MD file, um, copy this, go back to my terminal and hit enter. Proceed. So for the sake of this event, I am using Claude Opus 4.8, like one of the best models you have. You can use for Sonnet 4.6, 4.8 also. We have like particularly tested before and it worked. So anyway, the prompt second has been executed successfully. It's done, and let's cross verify. Um, just refresh that. There you go. In the queue section, you see the queue has arrived. Perfect. So similar way, the third prompt it says upload queue items, like go to the folder in that particular path on my machine, that's like on desktop, and select the file queue items.csv and uploads this data to the queue. All right. So first let me execute the prompt and then I will be showing you like how exactly the csv looks like what I have in my desktop. So first run that. Let's copy, hit enter. So it uses the UiP command that says bulk upload items. Like it will not upload one item then ask for my permission. It will totally upload all the items it has in the CSV. So for now, I just have to click yes. Let's wait for this command to get finished first. Uh, Click yes, yes. The good thing with Claude is what I believe is that now you don't need to spend your entire day to build as well as to debug and as well as to edit the things. I mean, you can now fast track your doings in a very smooth manner. Of course, that's pro, but the con is like you have to pay a little bit amount of like pro subscription. But I think the benefits are more than the cons. So I believe it actually helps our journey to fast track. So without further ado, the items have been added. Let's see on the studio first, then I will be showing you on the desktop how it actually looks. So again, let's refresh that. Let's say view transaction. You see the items have been added, and if I click this I option, you see the Vikram Singh at the first, right? So let's go to the desktop and I will show you. Uh, this is the CSV we have, and you see in the end that is Vikram Singh. So that's like first in first out way what we have studied in our DSS sessions. That's how it is added. So yeah, so queue items have been added. Now the next thing would be, let's go to the prompt and see what we have. So after that, yeah, so after that we need to make a RP workflow, name coding agent, queue processor, and the whole configuration have been mentioned here in this prompt. Now you may ask, like, if we need to write all the things there, then what like the benefit of having Claude? Well, I mean, you can just say create RPA of this name or whatever name and just mention specific requirements that you are having. But the problem it can arise, like sometimes Claude, you know, hallucinates. So instead of that, I mean, you can generate all the things. I would say use ChatGPT for free model. So you can generate all the detailed thing for your prompt to get better and to get quick and perfect results. So we did the same way, like we say create an RPA and the RPA should contain these things. So let me run that. Let's again go to the MD file. Let's run that here. Still successfully loaded. Okay, so it's doing its work, but before that, I wanna show you that there is no existed um, RPA in our studio. So let me show you. In the studio, you go. Uh, there's nothing yet. Just click yes. Let's wait for it to happen. So till then, we can discuss about like why you decided to have that cloud model like Opus to use this in this thing. So firstly, we try to go with with Sonnet, with Hygo, all the models. But the problem is that you have limited token and context window. So you don't want your process to be super lengthy, like taking 1 hour or 2 hour. Um, in that case, you want to things make it done in less amount of like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, something like that. So for that, we picked Opus, and with Opus, we tested multiple times, and it in one time it finishes in 30 minutes. So I think Opus could be a great choice um, for this particular thing. But I would say like have to manage the tokens in the context very well, because if you just create one workflow at a time and debug it and edit it, then you need to wait for another like 5 or 6 hours unless until you buy tokens additionally. So prompts are very important thing here. You just cannot type random things and expect it to be done in one prompt. So for now, let's just say create fresh coding agent preprocessor RPA project.
Just to add up team, like what Subhajan is trying to explain, like from our experience, what we saw that like when you have a business use case, say you give that business use case to Claude can still create the RPA workflow for you, but it uses a huge amount of tokens because it needs to think, and when it thinks, it is not sure like what needs to be done, what has to be done, so it cross verify itself, and then he creates the workflow for you. So the first time when we give a use case, just a use case without any direct instructions to it as such, so what it was doing is it consumed close to, I think, 40k 50k tokens
Yes,
in one run itself, and that too for creating a single project and only on the main file. So then, and the difference is like when you give certain instructions, certain hints to him, what he does is that 40k token size, it ultimately came down, I think it came down to less than 20k, or it came down by 50 or even less percent, like so that was the improvement. So we'll have to always keep in mind that whatever the prompt we do, especially with when you are talking with the workflow, it has to be little direct, and you'll have to give him basic hints or instruction only to consume your token. It's not like that the model cannot create it, the model can still create it, but the instruction will help him to think less and directly do what you are expecting. So that is something that we faced. We also tested it with uh, Sonnet, and even Sonnet was performing pretty good. So more or less, yeah. So both the models were good, but yeah, Opus is more reliable. Sometimes Sonnet might here and there. He might skip something. You'll have to reprompt it once again, and then he'll create it. But at the end of the day, the job gets done. Either you're using this model or that model.
yeah. So thank you, Kunal, for explaining it well. I think the doubt has been cleared. So anyhow, this process is also about to complete. So it took, or it's still taking more than 5 minutes with all the modifications we have done to create the whole RPA workflow. So now you can understand, like, with that many modifications, like, it's taking 5 minutes and more. Like, then with a simple one line command could be your boon, or when. Anyways, it's done. Let's go to Studio F and check what it has built. Let's go there and just refresh that. There you go. It created something. Yeah, yeah. So for some reason, it don't actually put the exact queue. So we just need to fix that with the actual queue we have. So just click it and fix, and it will automatically fix it. So apart from that, the whole thing has been perfectly demonstrated. Let's fix that here too. And yeah, it's set to go. All the things are done. And yeah, let's go to the next prompt now. So wait a minute. So in the fifth prompt, we have like publish the project. All right. So what it does, this prompt directs the agent to compile and publish the completed coding agent queue processor RP workflow project from UiPath Studio Web to the Orchestrators package repository, making it available for deployment. All right. So let's just go to the prompt, copy it, and paste it there. So it not just only executes, but it actually explains like how the things have been done. So this is how for like beginners like who don't have such knowledge in UiPath, things like how manually you can build things or how to debug things. It actually feels like story like it can explain to you what it's been doing and all the things and all the things it has done and where you can find that the status, all the things. So become very easy for us to understand the things and for the beginners to feel confident enough that you can do also. So let's cross verify that. Let's go to Orchestrator. All right, DNet, and let's go to the packages. As you can see, 36 seconds ago, it has successfully been published. Right. So yeah, let's go to the second prompt. So after publishing the project, what do we have left is deploy the package. So in that case, like deploy the coding agent queue processor package, ensuring that both deployment name and the solution folder name are set to coding agent queue processor. Select the location to coding agent demo folder. Like you may ask, like, isn't the prompt feels like so much systematic? Well, we need to be systematic sometimes because the model, no matter how good it is, it hallucinates. So the better you do, the better results you get. So as for the name, you can understand what it exactly does. So description, I mean, it is attached, you can read. But let's just say run the command first. So yeah, this one. Let's go to terminal, paste it there, and run. I think we are more than halfway towards building the whole thing. You know, imagine before the CLI and the cloud thing, I don't believe that it will take so less time to make things very fast. So I feel AI is actually making things a lot better, a lot easier. Now it's packing and publishing the solution first. Let's click yes. Hmm. Right, so let's run it. So till it's happening, we can see like we are actually very close to complete the whole thing. Let me show you. Like is the sixth prompt. Then we have seventh and eight. Like two more prompts left for successful exit, and then we are all set to complete our thing. So let's see. Click it yes. All right. It's done successfully. Let's now check. Refresh that. Go to the folder. And there you go. It has arrived and it's active with the version 1.0.1 and location in the folder name. So yeah, now let's go to the next step. We have in this seventh prompt verify or create the process. So it says verify whether the coding agent create processor process exists under this location. If it does not exist, create the process and configure main.xml as its entry point. And if it's already exists, simply update the entry point to main.xml. So you can guess, like we'll be going this second case, but for the sake of like being neutral and not biased, we have to mention all the conditions, right? So what it does, this prompt requires the agent to verify whether the coding agent preprocessor process is correctly set up under the coding agent demo and this path. If it doesn't, then the agent is instructed to create it and configure main.xml as entry point. If it already exists, the entry point is updated to ensure workflow runs on main.xml. So I think it's clear, right? So let me run that. So go to the MD file, copy the whole thing. Uh, Once again, yeah, copy the whole thing and then paste it here and then run. So it's checking whether the process exists in the folder or not. Yeah, as we've guessed, it exists. So it goes with the second condition. That is, simply update the entry point to main.xml. So let's just click yes. Click yes. And you know the better part is that like you don't need to be pro. Like some of the lines, for being honest, I don't understand like all of the comments, all of the things it is saying, but still I know it's working or not. If it's not working, Claude is not just making things, it is very useful for debugging as well. Like it can suggest you, it can make you changes, and ultimately it helps you to complete your task. So for debugging purpose you can use it as well. So making things very much easier, very much confident for people who are beginning things, and making them hope that um, it's not complicated as many people consider. So let it run. Just click yes. Now repack the solution. Verify. It's doing the thing, and we believe like it's doing well and clear. Let's click yes. Just Now it says both succeeded. So we'll cross verify that, no problem. Taking more the time than we expected, to be very honest. We thought that this step would be around like 1 or 2 minutes for maximum, but for like 5 minutes around, uh, it says that entry point has been set successfully, version is this, folder is that, and process that. So let's just verify that. Go to the studio way, refresh that, and the folder, the automation. Wait a minute. Uh, Loading agent. There you go. So the process has been there. The type RPA version this, and the entry point has been set main.xaml. So yeah. So now let's go to the final prompt we have to execute. So in the final prompt, it says unattended setup and run. So what it says here, let me zoom in more. So it's do the below actions. Create an unattended setup using the machine default cloud robot serverless and the robot default robot. Link it to the folder, this folder, and run it. Run the coding agent preprocessor process using the unattended setup. So what it does, this prompt instructs the agent to configure and execute the process in an unattended environment. The agent must set up an unattended execution using the serverless machine and default robot. Link it to pro- the process we have in the folder and trigger a run of the coding agent queue processor process. All right. So let me run that first, and then we see like what it actually does. So go to the
So what Subhajan is trying to tell here is like we all have the default machine and the default robot in our orchestrator. So the prompt is just trying to create an unintended setup for it, and it is going to assign itself to the same folder where the solution is, so that when we trigger the process, it can run on that machine and that robot using that robot. And yep, if it executes fine, you'll be able to see all the queue items are successful by now.
yes. So let me run that. Just click it yes. Let it run and let it decide what it's best for the business. Uh, So this comment has been running for like more than 3 minutes now. So let's see how long it takes. As it says that all three succeeded. So let's verify. So I think it's going to be ending very soon. Let's see how many steps it requires, and it will inform us that it executes everything perfectly. Click it yes. Yes. Perfect. So it says there's like one problem. Like the processor and solutions subfolder, but the code engine queue with 5 items in a folder scope. So couldn't find in the subfolder. Let's just check, and then if it fails or something, then we'll try to debug it by itself. So let's go there, refresh that, and see what it does. So yeah, go there, queue, new transactions. It hasn't done well, right? So let's just wait, take a screenshot, and tells it that hey, queue is there, so try to fix it. Now it's said that confirmed from the screenshot. Click it yes. Perfect. Just click yes. Yeah. So no fault this time. You say scope mismatch. Okay, we leave it in the parent folder, but the process execute in the subfolder. So create a coding agent queue in the subfolder where the process runs. Loaded the thing. Each item successful. So now let's check. So now let's keep remoting, then copy. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
go to
what is
there.
the issue is like all of us who is in the UiPath, who has been using UiPath, we know that, right? Whenever a queue or a asset exists in some separate folder, you need to just link it to your other subfolders, or you'll have to make sure that they are accessible by your other robots. So in this particular case, you can see that that was not there. So that's the reason it was creating the problem. But the good thing to see here was, like, if you see the details which Subharjan is now currently showing on the screen. So I said in the very starting, what was our business use case? We had two keys which were very important. One was the quantity and the unit price. So our process was simply doing a multiplication of both the things and storing it. As you can see, this output data was previously not available, but now if you see in the output there is a new thing which has come in, which is called as total price, and the total price shows you that it is 10 into 800, 8,000 rupees. So that's what, and that's how it has happened for all the transactions that you see on the screen. But the good part, I'm happy. I was wondering like how can a demo finish without even any error. So I was happy that this error happened, because it just tells you like, okay, someone who is not familiar with this, say a support team guy who is working on this, and he may not be familiar like what has gone wrong. So even a simple screenshot and just telling the Claude that, okay, you need to just fix it, run it, and what are the things that you need to do, he will go and he will fix it for you. So that's a very good thing. You don't have to copy your entire exception code, paste it somewhere, do some research to figure out like what has happened. One single screenshot and your thing is done. So yeah, maybe for this use case it looks very fine, but I'm pretty sure like what we have tested or what we have faced during our development or design time when we were designing this solution, I think we used a similar approach. We just took a screenshot, just said it to him that, okay, this is what you have been doing. This is not, you're not doing it in the right way. Able to understand, adjust his thinking, and give us the correct prompt, or uh, do or design the solution in the right way. Yes, Subhajan. Yeah, over to you.
So I think my part has been done. So let us know like what do you think, and if you have any queries or something, you can ask or raise your hand. I think I don't need to share the screen anymore. I can turn it off.
Yeah. So yeah. So if anyone has any questions, we also have with us Faz. So Faz needs no introduction. He's an MVP. Siddesh was here as well, but I think Siddesh dropped. But if you have any questions, Faz, like your take on how this Claude thing is going to change, like how developers do the development, or anyone has any questions, like we'll be happy to answer. Okay. Hi Jen, I have made you the speaker. You can ask your questions. Yeah, you can speak. I think you can unmute yourself and you can speak. I think I've been given, you have the access for that. Jan. Jan, if you're able to hear us, you can unmute yourself and you can access the questions if you have any.
I think he's having problem. He's
Okay.
telling me right here.
Okay. Okay, Jan. Thank you.
And if you guys don't have any questions for now, so you feel free to reach out to Kunal, Shubhrajan, and me anytime on the LinkedIn, right? So you feel free to text anyone of us. Yeah.
Sure. Thanks. Thanks, bye. So yeah, if you have custom workflows, harness agents, uh, Faz bhai, like, do you want to take up this question like from Jan? Like,
Sorry, what he's trying to say.
in the chat, it is present. Like, he is saying that if he has a custom workflow, harness or agents MD, like, can it be used on top of UiPath skills?
Let me read his chat. Anyway, I want to ask if you have custom workflow harness agent set at this on top of. Actually, I'm not very clear about these questions. Custom workflow, harness, and AJMD. So, like you already have seen in the demo, what Shubhrajan presented, he tried to use the MD what he has created, and you can fit these MD files to the any of your coding agent. Can be your Claude, you can open your Codex, or maybe your autopilot as well. So you feed this file, but maybe if you have something else, if I will try to answer your question, but you have something else, you feel free to drop
I wanna
custom
say
workflow.
something like if
Yeah, please.
Yes, so I think harness isn't like what it does, it plans by itself, like as Faiz said, like I have here MD file where the prompts are written. What is this like this? Harness agent does all the planning by itself and runs autonomously. So is it possible to align with UiPath, or it's just like I have to separately create the things and manually just inject that?
Okay, got it. So I think currently we have to do it manually, and harnessing. I'm not sure it is available on the UiPath platform as well. So, but yeah, currently we have to do it manually.
Yes, I think like once you uh, like once you do your connection to the orchestrator, you always have to type that thing that please connect to my orchestrator, but otherwise you will not be able to execute your orchestrator thing. uh, for the very first time, I think Subhajun, I think what is the command exactly that you use for your login where it asks you for your orchestrator credentials and you just do the sign in there?
So firstly, with the comment you actually mentioned in the beginning, like npm install UiPath CLI, something that so I run that. I already have Claude in my account previously. So after that, I told Claude that hey, I have these skills, these UiPath skills. I have just installed. So can you access the skills that I have in my system? It says yes. So I then tell, well, is it possible that you can always permanently log in my UiPath account so that when I have Claude set up in the terminal, I just say, um, log into my UiPath account in 5 minutes, and I don't need to separately authenticate or put the credentials on. You will just need to do that once, and then you will remember everything.
Yes, coming to the Basuraj questions, yeah, absolutely, it is possible. You can write your prompt maybe in a simple natural language. You can pass this to analyze your project. It will definitely analyze your entire project, and maybe you can also ask him to create some reports in order to share it with someone's whether the project is following the best practices or not. Any hard-coded values, any password credentials, whatever you feel like. You can write a prompts, and it will definitely bring all the informations here. And coming to the previous question, it is from Tom. Let's say you want to go back to this Claude session, how you can access it. For that cases, you can create your MD file while your conversation with any coding agent. You can maintain this conversation in any of the MD file, maybe agent.md file. You can ask your coding agent to maintain this conversation. Whenever we come back again with the previous sessions, you can ask your agent. Maybe like you are currently working with your Claude and you have communicated so many things and you want to record it, and when you come back to these sessions, you can ask to go to this agent.md file or the conversation.md file, whatever the file name you want to prefer. You can ask your current agent, it will go to the specific file and start your conversation, or maybe resume your conversation from there as well. Yeah, absolutely. It can be create because we already have the RE framework. You want to create your own framework for any customer for your organization. Definitely, it can create your framework. But like Kunal said and Subradu said, it will consume your token size, right? Whenever you are interacting and utilizing this coding agent, it will consume your token and your sessions. So you have to be think about it. If you have already the RE framework, you can feed this RE framework path. Like we have so and so framework, and you want to make it ready for your requirement, for your customer requirement, you can feed your data like we have this template ready, but you have to customize it for so and so requirement. Pass this command, it will definitely recreate or maybe redesign it for your requirement only. Kunal.
Okay. Does anyone has any other questions, or it's I think if none, then we'll just close the session. Yeah, sure, sure. Will the recording and the PDF should be available within the next 48 hours. So uh, it will get published, and then I'll just put it in the events page, so you guys can all access them, and feel free to design your own thing. So it has both the prompts as well as the structure. So yeah. Anything else, as far as I said, like feel free to connect with all of us, like or anyone in the Kolkata chapter, like as I said in the starting, anything that you want us to present, anything that you want us to my team to work on and show it to you as a learning, we'll be happy to create virtual sessions on that, and we are happy to take your feedback and comments. Acha, one more question is, Claude or Codex, acha, is Claude or Codex free to use if I need to do testing? uh I think for Claude, Subhajan, correct me if I'm wrong. For Claude, I think you need a subscription. Without subscription, you cannot do it. Uh, Codex, I'm not sure if as like if you have any idea, like it's
Yes, like for Claude and I think Codex too, like without subscription you cannot do the CLI thing, forget UiPath. You just cannot do CLI, like terminal based anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And one more thing I would like to highlight here. So when you go to the UiPath CLI and type your CLI command like UiPath skills install, you will see UiPath is trying to keep add as many as the public coding agent is available, like that is Claude and Codex, Anti-Gravity, Gemini. Now you will see one more agent they have added, that is called UiPath Autopilot. So you can, if you are on the UiPath ecosystem, you don't want to bring your own subscription, you want to procure your license, you can also utilize UiPath Autopilot coding agent, UiPath Autopilot as a coding agent. But it is in preview. I'm sure like the team is still working on it. So definitely Kunal and team will comes with dedicated sessions on this, so that you no need to be worry about the cloud subscription and the Codex and Anti-Gravity and the Gemini. You can purely focus on the UiPath coding agent as well, because you are working on the UiPath environment. So definitely you can utilize the autopilot as a coding agent in the UiPath ecosystems.
uh, there is one more question from Devika. I feel ki I should there should not be any problem or compliance issue, like when you are adding your data. In this case, like we were using our own subscription, but when you work with your business team, obviously they will have their own subscription or their thing, right? Like the client side accounts. So I don't think using that it should be a problem, unless you're using your own private account for running it. Okay, if nothing else, we'll end the session here today. Thank you, fans, for supporting, and thanks, Ubergen, for this wonderful, wonderful demo. And uh, yeah, feel free to connect with us. Do join the Kolkata community, and we'll keep coming up with sessions. So there are many things coming up. So with wonderful speakers. So look forward to it. Thank you once again. Thanks everyone for joining.